it really wouldn't be a golf tip unless somebody at some point told you to keep your head down. And this is a tip of two parts really, because the first part is I'm going to tell you to ignore all the advice your friends have been giving you, or certainly make sure you understand the advice your mates have been giving you. And the second part is how you should correctly and efficiently keep your head down. So keeping your head down is probably the words that are said more on the golf course than anything else to everybody who's ever seen their mate struggling. So anytime you've seen somebody playing golf and they're struggling with topping the golf ball and hitting it 3 feet like this, your first thing your mates will say is, keep your head down. I would challenge you, you can go back and watch that video of me just doing that. I did not lift my head. I'd be very surprised if I did. So keeping your head down is not the be all and end all of stopping hitting bad shots like that, because actually lifting your head is probably very rarely the reason why people hit bad golf shots. The concept of lifting the head is the thought that as I'm coming down towards impact, I start to look up to see where that ball goes and turn through, and then I'd hit the top of the golf ball. More often than not, that doesn't happen. Very rarely have I ever seen anybody lifting their head on the lesson tee, even with high-speed camera, slow motion, the whole thing, the head is dead level. The reason why people hit bad golf shots like that is actually they lift their arms, they bend their arms and pull their arms in. So certainly the way I hit that shot was I kept my head dead still and bent my arms. My arms were straight when I started the swing, my arms were bent when I hit the golf ball, and I managed to hit the top of the golf ball. It wasn't by lifting up. So sometimes when people say you lifted your head, ignore them and focus on keeping your arms straight, and that will be better. However, if you genuinely are lifting your head, then that's something we want to try and put right, because it can cause problems. Now for most people, they lift their head incorrectly in their backswing, not their downswing, they lift it in their backswing. So if I'm setting up to the golf ball correctly and I'm in a good position here, and then I lift up in the backswing, that's going to cause me some problems. So I'm now too high, I simply can't reach that ball. I swing down, I'll miss it, or I'll hit the top of it. But having said that, I lifted my head, but it wasn't my head that made itself lift. Your head very rarely works independently. It can't move up and down on its own. It has to move up and down on the spine angle. So what actually happened with that swing was, yes, it looked like I lifted my head, but the reality was I lifted my chest and my spine angle, I stood up. So when someone says to you, keep your head down, the consideration might actually be, keep my spine angle the same, keep my chest down. So if I keep my chest down over the top of the ball here and I tilt, I can then turn back through and tilt, and I can keep my spine angle the same, therefore I keep my head down, as it were. The worst place you can keep your head down is in your follow through. So if I hit this shot, I kept my head down, I didn't lift up, I also can't follow through. So we don't want to keep the head down after the shot. We want to allow the head to turn, lift up and look up to a nice high finish. So there's a time and a place for the head down tip. We're going to work on it here. We set up, we get a good posture position, we keep the head nice and tall at this point. Now we keep the head down and level. Now we stay down and level, now we let the head lift up. So we don't keep the head down the whole time, because we'll never have a follow through. So let's keep that head nice and level, let it lift on the downswing. As I come through the ball, my head will come up, but it stayed nice and level on the backswing. So be careful with the keep the head down tip. There's certain times and places where you want to keep the head down, other times ignore it, keep your arms straight and extend through the ball nicely.